What's going on, guys? Welcome back. This video is going to be about the point of no contact, and then I'll probably put in brackets. They need to learn your value again. There's quite a few people who get confused about what no contact is even for. Some people in my coaching program were kind of having like a discussion. When I came to find out what they were talking about, they were like, well, what's the whole point of no contact and all that stuff. So the idea behind no contact really comes when two people meet each other, right? They're trying to figure each other out. And then within, a few seconds, in terms of your looks, because looks do matter to a degree, they know if they want to be, in bed with you. So, and then from there, they get to know who you really are. And then as time goes by, they want to be together with you more and more, and then eventually, you fall in love with each other. Now, where things go screwy in relationships is, first of all, things get too negative. Usually when people break up, it's because one or both parties aren't getting along, obviously, right? Some people have a lower or higher threshold for when they, have taken too much, so to speak. But at the end of the day, it's really about how much can that person or how much can that relationship take, how much energy can be expended on trying to fix things all the time instead of trying to have a flourishing relationship. One person usually loses sight of the value of the other person. This is called taking them for granted. So a lot of the times what ends up happening is that person will fall out of love. One person of the party, usually the woman, falls out of love with the guy. That seems to happen more often in more cases. So she ends up falling out of love with him. She loses sight of what his value is. Now, that being said, so many guys these days have no idea what their own value is. So how can a woman see his value? That is why people break up. That is why that's why it happens. Now, what's the point of no contact? The point of no contact is to reaffirm that value. So depending on how you handle the breakup, you can either increase or decrease that value. And what ends up happening most of the time is guys beg, plead, do all the wrong things that they think will get an ex back. Because normally when, people go through breakups, they think that being around that person is going to bring them back. They think that more contact is going to bring them back. There's so many guys who are about to go through a breakup who will actually start asking that girl to marry them, thinking that more contact is going to be the better idea, when really that person just wants space, time, and time to themselves, right? And then that person wants to get closer. Now they feel trapped, and now they want space. So no contact, if you do this right away, it's going to give them the space they desire and then some. So if they're sitting here going, okay, all I really wanted, because emotionally it's going to change day to day or even week to week, sometimes month to month. The initial desire to have space will decrease if you give it to them and then some. So when you start giving someone space and they're like, okay, maybe it'd be nice to hear from them again, and they don't, they text you and you wait quite a bit of time, that's when you flip the script. That's when you start to give them anxiety, because they're like, look, I really only wanted like a little bit of space. Well, now I don't even know where they are. I don't know who they're with. I don't know what they are doing. By you implementing no contact right away, you're reaffirming your value. You're showing them, you know what, I'm a valuable person here. And again, like I say in my previous videos, it's showing them that you have an abundant mindset and you're not going to be chasing somebody who doesn't want them. And you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. If you want to get an ex back, you should really think about it. You should really think about why you even want your ex back to begin with. You should think about that, really. Because if you mindlessly want your ex back and you just want to, nurse those emotions that you feel, if you just want to try to fill that hole that you feel about them, and you're not actually taking the time to say, okay, maybe this relationship went the wrong direction a long time ago and we should have fixed things a long time ago, right? So it's all about having the right self-evaluation, and it's also about how okay you are with taking a look at the bigger picture. So you need to reaffirm your value, and they need to see it, and they will see it if you implement no contact right away. Because again, this is aligned with the law of attraction. This is aligned with, letting things go and letting things be free. That means people too. You cannot control people's actions. You can influence them, and in a way that's what you're doing here, because you're trying to influence them through a non-forced way to contact you again, and that's how you do it. See, if you try to be around them more, they're just going to want more space. That's why girls, whenever they break up with you, it just seems like they turn ice cold. They're mean. They're almost, you don't even recognize them. You don't even know who they are. So the second that you implement no contact, and you're like, it almost throws them for a complete loop, because they're like, all I wanted was time, and now I haven't heard from you for so long. So this is the best strategy, guys. I'll give it to you right here. When you are just being dumped, or you're just going through, or maybe you've realized that she's taking space, she wants space from you, or he, if you're a lady watching this, what you do is, the second that they are about to tell you, look, I need space, look, I need time, I don't want to be with you anymore, immediately say, okay, you know what, that's actually a great idea. I think that is a great idea. I'm gonna go work on myself, and I hope everything's good with you. Try to take it as solidly as you can. A lot of people break down, and that's okay if you do. They're probably expecting that. Then from there, right? And that's not what I did. What I did is because I was emotional about it at the time, I angrily pushed them away. I was like, okay, you don't want to be with me? Fuck you, basically. That's what I did. So when I did no contact, that's when things completely changed. So when I went through this, I didn't say I was going to improve myself, because at the time I was too involved in the emotions of it. If you tell them that, they're going to say, okay, they're going to have an understanding. At least at first they won't believe it, but they'll have an understanding that you do want to be better. And then depending on how mature you are, or what you really want out of this situation, you can say, look, the door is open, we can try this again. Some people don't want to say that because they're emotionally hurt. So the best strategy is to let them know that you're going to be working on yourself. You can leave the door open if you do want your ex back. If you don't, that's a whole different story. Okay. From there, you actually do the work. That means, assume in your mind for the next 6 months, you're not going to hear anything from anyone in your life, and go and do everything that you wanted to do. Go and work on your passions, your projects, go work on your body, go work on your finances, whatever it is that you want to do. And then, from there, that's where you start to really build up your own self-worth again, your own value. Start building that up. And then, because that person doesn't see it, and they're going to start seeing it when they don't hear from you that much. If someone else comes along and they're a better fit for you, do not hesitate to go out with them, because your ex left you. You have no obligation to wait it out just because you guys dated for a few years. If there's someone that meets you and they really value you, that's really what you're looking for in dating to begin with. Them to value who you are. Them to wake up and understand that they are with someone that they think is special. Some people can't see that, but it is also up to you to focus on improving yourself and improving your worth and improving your value. How do you do that? Read books, take courses, follow your passions, which make you want to improve and hone your skills. So many people these days, 90% of people out there are lazy. They just want to watch TV. They don't want to gain new skills. They don't want to do anything because they're lazy, right? So make sure that you are actually becoming a better version of you. I know this is beating a dead horse for people who love my content. It's absolutely true, because if you don't focus on yourself and don't focus on improving, what you're going to have happen to you in the future is we're growing apart. See, that's what happens with people. They don't focus on getting better and shooting for new goals. They just stay stagnant and the same. And nobody wants to be with somebody like that. Okay, so somewhere along you'll see a card or an end screen to see another video of mine, and it will probably help you out. And if you have any questions, post them in the comment section below. And I hope I helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Coaching's down below. Done.